I'm shoveling snow from my driveway when I hear it. A sound so faint I almost miss it beneath the scrape of metal on ice. A whimper, weak, desperate, muffled by something heavy. I stop mid-motion, shovel frozen in the air, and listen. There it is again. A tiny cry coming from the snowbank at the edge of my property, where the plow pushed everything into a massive white wall 2 days ago during the blizzard. I drop the shovel and move toward the sound, boots crunching through knee-deep snow. The whimpering grows slightly louder as I approach. It is coming from inside the snowbank. Something is buried in there. I fall to my knees and start digging with my bare hands, snow burning my skin instantly. My fingers hit something soft. Fur. I dig faster, my heart pounding. A small black nose appears first, crusted with ice. Then a tiny muzzle. Then 2 dark eyes, half closed, barely moving. A puppy. A small golden retriever puppy, no more than 8 weeks old, buried alive in the snow. I pull it free carefully, cradling its frozen body against my chest. The puppy is limp, barely breathing. Its fur matted with ice and frost. Its little paws are stiff and blue from the cold. It does not whimper anymore. It does not move. I realize with horror that this puppy has been buried here since the blizzard. 2 days ago. 2 days trapped in freezing snow with no food, no warmth, no hope. How it survived this long, I do not know. But it is still alive. Barely. The puppy's chest rises and falls in shallow, irregular breaths. Its eyes open slightly, looking at me with a gaze that is too weak to be afraid, too exhausted to be anything but pleading. It is dying, right here in my arms, and I am the only person who knows it exists. I scan the area quickly. No tracks, no signs of anyone searching. This puppy was either abandoned or lost during the storm and buried when the plow came through. No one is coming to save it, except me. I stand up fast, still holding the frozen puppy close to my chest, and I run toward my house. Every second counts. This puppy needs heat. It needs help. And it needs both right now. I burst through my front door and head straight for the bathroom. I turn on the hot water in the sink, testing the temperature carefully. Not scalding, lukewarm. Warming a hypothermic animal too quickly can kill it. I wrap the puppy in a dry towel and hold it gently under the warm water, supporting its tiny head. The water runs over its frozen fur, melting the ice slowly. The puppy does not react. It does not flinch. It lies completely limp in my hands. I dry it carefully with another towel, rubbing gently to stimulate circulation. The puppy's fur is matted and wet, revealing how painfully thin it is. I can feel every rib, every bone. This puppy has not eaten in days. I carry it to the living room and place it on a heating pad covered with soft blankets. I set the pad to low. Too much heat too fast is dangerous. I tuck blankets around the puppy's small body, creating a warm nest. The puppy still does not move. Its eyes are closed now. Its breathing is so shallow I have to watch closely to see if its chest is rising at all. I grab my phone and search frantically. Hypothermia in puppies. How to save a frozen dog. Emergency puppy care. Every article says the same thing. Warm slowly. Monitor breathing. Get to a vet immediately. I call the nearest emergency veterinary clinic. The receptionist answers. I found a puppy buried in the snow, I say quickly. It has been out there for at least 2 days. Severe hypothermia. Barely breathing. I need help now. She asks for my address and tells me to bring it in immediately. They will have everything ready. But the clinic is 20 minutes away. 20 minutes in a car through snow-covered roads. I look down at the puppy. It has not moved since I placed it on the heating pad. I do not know if it will survive 20 minutes. I make a decision. I grab a small box, line it with the heating pad and blankets, and place the puppy inside carefully. I carry the box to my car, start the engine, and crank the heat to maximum. I drive as fast as the icy roads allow, One hand on the wheel, one hand reaching back to touch the puppy, checking if it is still breathing. Every red light feels like an eternity. Every slow turn feels like failure. Halfway there, I glance back. The puppy has not moved. Its tiny body lies motionless in the box. I press the accelerator harder. Then I see it. The smallest movement. One tiny paw twitches, just once. Barely noticeable, but it is movement. It is life, it is fighting. I pull into the veterinary clinic and grab the box. I run through the front door. The receptionist sees me and immediately waves me through. A veterinarian in scrubs meets me in the hallway. "This way," she says, leading me into an exam room. "Put the box on the table." I place it down gently. She lifts the puppy out carefully, her hands moving with practiced precision. She listens to its heart with a stethoscope. She checks its temperature with a rectal thermometer. Her face goes pale. "Body temperature is 79 degrees," she says quietly. "Normal is 101. This puppy is critically hypothermic."
He's stable now.
She calls for her assistant. They move fast, wrapping the puppy in heated blankets, setting up IV fluids warm to body temperature, preparing oxygen. I stand back, watching, my hands shaking. I do not know if I got here in time. The veterinarian works for what feels like hours, but is probably only minutes. Finally, she steps back and looks at me. "It is stable," she says, barely, but stable. I exhale for what feels like the first time since I found the puppy. "Will it survive?" I ask. She does not answer right away. She looks down at the tiny puppy, now wrapped in heated blankets, connected to fluids, breathing slightly more steadily. "I do not know," she says honestly. "The next 24 hours will decide. If it makes it through the night, it has a chance." The veterinarian tells me the puppy needs to stay overnight, possibly longer. They will monitor its temperature, heart rate, and breathing every hour. If it makes it through the night without crashing, there is hope. I ask if I can stay. She hesitates, then nods. I spend the night in the clinic's waiting room, checking my phone every few minutes for updates. At 2 in the morning, the veterinarian comes out. "Temperature is rising," she says. "Slowly. It is responding to treatment." I nod, relief flooding through me. But she does not smile. "It is not out of danger yet," she warns. "Hypothermia causes damage we cannot always see immediately. Organ failure, brain damage. We will not know the full extent for days." I go back to the waiting room. I do not sleep. At 6 in the morning, the assistant comes out. "You can see it now," she says. I follow her into the treatment area. The puppy is in a small heated incubator, wrapped in blankets, connected to an IV. Its eyes are still closed, but its chest is rising and falling more steadily now. I reach through the incubator opening and touch its tiny paw gently. It is warm, not frozen anymore. Warm. The puppy's paw twitches at my touch, just slightly. But it is a response. It knows I am there. I stay for hours sitting beside the incubator, talking softly to the puppy, even though it cannot hear me. I tell it to keep fighting. I tell it it is safe now. On the second day, the puppy opens its eyes. They are cloudy at first, unfocused, but they open. It looks around weakly, trying to understand where it is. The veterinarian checks it over carefully. "No signs of permanent brain damage," she says. "Kidneys are functioning. Heart is strong. This puppy is a fighter." On the third day, the puppy tries to stand. Its legs are shaky, weak from days without food and the trauma of near death. But it stands, it wobbles, it falls, and it tries again. I watch through the incubator glass, my throat tight. On the fourth day, they move the puppy out of the incubator. It can regulate its own body temperature now. They place it in a small recovery kennel with soft bedding and a warm blanket. I bring food. Special puppy formula mixed with soft food for sensitive stomachs. The puppy sniffs it cautiously at first, then eats. Slowly, carefully, but it eats. The veterinarian pulls me aside. "I need to ask," she says. "Do you know who owns this puppy? We need to report the find to animal control. Someone might be looking for it." I shake my head. I checked. No missing puppy reports in the area. No lost dog posters. Nothing. She nods slowly. Then we need to consider that this puppy was abandoned, left in the snow deliberately. The thought makes me sick, but I know she is right. A puppy this young does not wander into a snowbank on its own and get buried by a plow. Someone left it there. What happens now? I ask. Animal control will take custody, she says. They will try to find the owner or trace where it came from. If no one claims it within the legal period, it goes up for adoption. I look through the kennel door at the tiny golden retriever puppy, now curled up on a blanket, finally sleeping peacefully. Can I adopt it? I ask. She looks at me, surprised. Then she smiles. You saved its life. I think you have already adopted it. 1 week later, the veterinarian clears the puppy for release. It has gained weight. Its fur is clean and soft. Its eyes are bright. It runs around the exam room with clumsy puppy energy, tripping over its own paws, tail wagging constantly. The veterinarian hands me a folder. Vaccination records, deworming schedule, follow-up appointment in 2 weeks, and adoption papers. I look at the papers. Official. Legal. This puppy is mine. Have you thought of a name? She asks. I look down at the golden retriever puppy, now chewing on my shoelace, completely unaware that 1 week ago it was dying in my arms. Phoenix, I say, because it rose from the snow. She smiles. Perfect. I carry Phoenix out to my car. It is the same car I drove frantically to the clinic 1 week ago. Terrified I would not make it in time. But now, everything is different. Phoenix sits in the passenger seat, looking out the window with curious eyes, tail wagging. I drive home slowly, glancing over at the puppy every few seconds. Phoenix looks back at me, tongue out, panting happily, completely trusting. When we arrive home, I carry Phoenix to the backyard. The snow is melting now. Spring is coming. I set Phoenix down on the grass near the spot where I found it buried. Phoenix sniffs the ground, explores the yard, chases a leaf. It has no memory of what happened here. No memory of being trapped, freezing, dying. It is just a puppy now. Happy. Safe. Alive. I watch Phoenix play and I think about how close I came to missing that faint sound. How easily I could have kept shoveling and never heard the whimper. How this puppy's entire life depended on one person stopping and listening. Phoenix runs back to me and jumps against my legs, wanting to be picked up. I lift it carefully and it licks my face, tail wagging so hard its entire body wiggles. 2 months later, Phoenix is unrecognizable from the frozen, skeletal puppy I pulled from the snow. It is healthy, energetic, growing fast. Its golden fur is thick and shiny. It follows me everywhere, sleeps at the foot of my bed, greets me at the door every time I come home. The veterinarian was right. I did not adopt Phoenix. Phoenix adopted me. The moment I heard that whimper in the snow, the moment I chose to dig instead of walk away, we became inseparable. I take Phoenix to the park. It runs through the grass with other dogs, plays fetch, rolls in the dirt. It is everything a puppy should be. No one watching would ever know it spent 2 days buried alive in a snowbank. But I know. And every time I look at Phoenix, I am reminded that sometimes the smallest choice, stopping, listening, caring, can change everything. Phoenix runs back to me with a stick, tail wagging, eyes bright with joy. I throw the stick and it chases after it with boundless energy. I leave the park with something I did not expect when I started shoveling snow that winter morning. Peace. Not because I am a hero, not because I did something extraordinary, but because when I had the choice to ignore a faint sound and keep working, I chose to listen, and somehow that made all the difference.